Granit was talking earlier in the week about how the critics, when they go after him, it fuels him and it fuels the other players in the squad. I just wondered how it affects you when you're criticised and if it has a similar impact on you.
I think I said before the interview, I cannot have more energy, more determination, and more desire to turn things around. I think nobody else has that more than myself at the moment. And it's not to do that. It's because I know I'm looking in the opposite way. It's when we're doing well, when people are enjoying, when people feel part of what we are doing, to get people happy. And when we have that power, I just focus on that. There is always going to be people unhappy. I haven't seen any single fan with a manager, with player that I are happy when you are losing football matches. It just doesn't happen and it's not realistic.
And just one more, you spoke there about Pep instilling in you this belief in, sticking to your ideas and your principles. Has there ever been a moment, when you've been through these difficult runs and even at the start of this month where you've questioned yourself and questioned what you're trying to do?
No, not the direction. You have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to see what is happening and how can you help the team and the individuals on that pitch, or with your speech or with the way that you communicate with them or what you are demanding them to do, and adapt a little bit. But the direction is not going to change.
Thanks, Mikel.
5 players who are 23 and under. Can you explain what type of character you were looking for when you signed younger players? If you look at, last year you signed Williams with much more experience. Can you explain what type of personality you wanted and what type of character you wanted? And what?
Well, first of all, we have to balance the squad in many different ways. First of all, in the development phase that they are throughout their careers and how we can evolve that. Then the specific qualities that we needed from that player in terms of our game model, and then what they will bring to the team with their personality. In order to do that, you have to know about their background, about their families, how they've been coached, where they're coming from, which experiences they have in the past, how they have reacted, and with all those informations on the table, then we try to make the right decisions for the football club.
Well, one of the points made earlier in the week by Gary Neville on TV was that Arsenal perhaps don't have some senior leaders to help the younger players you've brought in. What would you say to that, given obviously you've got I think you've got 3 international captains? Or would you say you've got the leaders and who would they be?
Well, I think the best way to do it is to ask to the young players that they live that situation every day. And when you see the involvement that they had in the last year or so, it's thanks to those players that are constantly helping them, constantly giving them support, encouraging them, telling them how good they are, how much they are helping the team. So probably that question is better for them.
And this time last year and even prior to January, you were talking about when you have unhappy players or players who don't play, it sort of has an effect on the atmosphere around the training ground. Obviously, you've got that kind of position at the moment where a number of players who perhaps you've got a bit of a bloated squad. What would happen if you don't get those players out of the squad out of the next few days, and how will that affect you going into autumn?
I don't know. We have planned to do what we can do, and we will have to try to adapt if we cannot do what we plan the best possible way. But what I'm telling you now is the attitude of the players has been spot on.
One final one. You've spent on net perhaps 100 million or so. Do you have to now sell to recoup? Have you been told you have to kind of reduce that, or given the year with COVID and obviously the losses that clubs make, where is the money coming from that if you don't sort of sell?
We will see what happens in the next few days. Everything that we have done is because we can do it, and what we've planned to do, it will depend as well in the next decision that we make.
Thank you, Mikel.
Mikel, nice to see you. I was just going to ask you, obviously the club have backed you to the hill and you've done an awful lot of business this summer, ins and outs. But do you kind of long for a summer when you don't have to do so much because the summer offers you a bit more stability, that you can actually plan for the season rather than playing 3 games and then the window shuts? Do you see
Listen, we analyze the situation and the position that we were in, and we had to make big decisions. And those decisions have been made with the technical part, with the board, with the financial guys that are involved with ownership. and then they support that plan. And we are all in this. You know, it's a decision that we make a few months ago, how we could move the club forwards, the time that was going to take, and the advantage that I was going to have medium and long term. And we stick to that, and we will try to execute that the best possible way.
In all of this press conference, you spoke most passionately about your determination to turn it around, to kind of, you know, regain things there. Do you feel that, you know, once you get these
because I really believe in what we are trying to do. I see the progress. I see everything that is being changed around the club, that it's in a much better place. I see the atmosphere around the place. I see the belief that the players have when we are coaching them, and we need results, and we're going to have difficult moments. And thankfully, we know that we're going to have some difficult moments. It's about trying to explain that situation, that narrative to everybody, and everybody is on board to that. But unfortunately, that is not going to happen, John. And but we have to try to explain it, because it's the truth, it's the reality, and probably it's the only solution that we had to get the club in a stable financial position, as well with the ambition that we want to bring success to the club as quick as possible.
Oh, I was just going to ask you about Pep, if I may. Am I right in thinking, Mikel, that you first met Pep when you were a 15-year-old kid at Barcelona? He was club captain.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, you actually formed a relationship then, which I guess is a little bit unusual. But were you two very similar characters in kind of, you know, that determination, that the view of the game, that a friendship that's obviously, you know, bonded and kept a long time?
I don't know, we clicked straight away, but thanks to him, because I always admired. He was a first-team player. I was 15 years old, and he came really close to me, and he was extremely helpful from day one to try to help me, teach me, and be in a relationship with me. And after that, yeah, we became friends, and we worked together, and we have exceptional times together. And today that relationship is probably even stronger.
Yeah. Are you incredibly similar? You feel like both of you. I don't know whether you can sort of tell us an anecdote about how obsessed.
No, I think
he's so obsessed with the game, isn't he? It feels like you are too.
Well, I think personally, we are very different characters, that we get on really well together, and we love spending time together. And we have that obsession about the game and understanding the game and trying to find other ways to do it, and the passion to do on the pitch what we were taught when we were in Barcelona, because we had a really similar education, and that's the way we live and breathe football, and that's why we love so much what we do.
Do you have a common interest outside of football? I don't know, food, drink, golf, anything?
Yeah, and laugh. We love. I think we both spend a lot of time together, and I think one of the main things is because we laugh a lot and we get on really well.
Sure. Can I just check one point of order? I think Gary was talking about the red list players and the red list countries. Who does that affect? Is that just Oba? And
hopefully nobody, Sean. So
sure.
No, we have a few that can be affected by that, but we are trying to get some clarity on that.
Yeah. Have you felt the need to speak to them? Because obviously a lot of players will feel so passionate about playing for their country. It's disappointing for them, isn't it?
Yeah, we have, and we don't want to be in the position that's a club. We have to restrict that. I don't think it's fair, because I think it will create a conflict between player and club. I don't think it's going to get to that stage, and hopefully they can get resolved.
Brilliant. Thanks so much. Good luck for Saturday.